This is how women looked in the ancient times. The stories of women of old age can be as unique as the faces reconstructed over the bones of the skull. Whether they were witches, saints, powerful people or forgotten victims, they are a part of a long ago era and our guides into the past. 1. A woman of 13,000 years old. After the complex process of reconstruction, an almost elf lady of 13,000 years old looked at the scientists, whose remains were discovered in Thailand. In life, her height was 152 centimeters, and this woman died of European appearance in 25-35 years. 2. The victim of the black market. This young woman died in Scotland in the 18th century. Her name and life story are unknown, but the skull still has much to tell. The remains of a young plaid, aged about 30 years, were found on the site where the poor and lonely people were buried. Her front teeth were torn out, and the researchers believe that they were sold on the market for the manufacture of dentures. 3. A typical Brazilian. Some of the oldest human remains were stored in the museum for decades. They belonged to a woman who was conditionally named Luzia, and she traveled the Brazilian savanna 115,000 years ago. It is believed that she died at the age of just over 20 years. When the skull of Luzia turned into a face, the scientists were surprised. Its features were clearly similar to those of the black people of Africa, Australia and the South Pacific. 4. Senhora de Cao. Long before the Incas in Peru, the culture of Moche flourished. One of the cult mummies of the time is the 1600-year-old Senhora de Cao. Her body was discovered in 2005 in a tomb filled with precious things. To represent the public's awe, the team of scientists recreated her face and body in 3D. The result was amazing. Instead of the mummy, museum visitors can now see a young woman with high cheekbones, which looks quite alive. 5. A woman from London. In 1999, archaeologists excavated the London Medieval Cemetery, where they found a mysterious woman in a huge stone sarcophagus dating from about 350 AD. The lady was wearing silk embroidered with gold. An analysis of her teeth showed that she was not British, but was most likely born in Rome. 6. Long-headed Korean woman. In 2013, during the excavation in Gyeongju, the capital of the ancient kingdom of Silla, 57 BC 935, a coffin with almost a whole skeleton of a woman who died at the age of 40 was found. The main thing that attracted the attention of scientists is its elongated head. More detailed research and digital reconstruction showed that such a skull structure was absolutely natural, and not modified. 7. The past of this mummy from the Melbourne Museum named Meritiman was a mystery for a long time. The scanned skeleton was identified by a lady who died very young, 18-25 years, and the reconstruction of the skull revealed to the world a beautiful Egyptian girl from high society, who died around 1500 BC. Her thinned and porous bones spoke of the lady suffering from either anemia or malarial parasites, plus she had 2 serious tooth abscesses. 8. Brave Witch. Third-party image reference. An elderly woman had no chance in 1704, she was tortured until she confessed to witchcraft. Sentenced to death, Lilia Sadi died in prison, although some believe that she laid her hands on her. In the 20th century, her skull was photographed, and in 2017, forensic experts wondered whether it was possible to restore the face from the photo, since the skull was no longer preserved. It turned out that you can. Lilius is quite similar to the modern average grandmother. 9. The oldest American. A teenager of the Ice Age, which scientists called Nye, died in Mexico 12-13,000 years ago and was found in 2007. The researchers very much wanted to look into the eyes of the oldest American.